a merry male sign. So this is a very simple project, just contains two different files. We have one for the actual overall sign, which has a female pocket inlay. We also have another file for the actual merry male text, which will be the male inlay, where we bring the two together to create this sign. Now underneath the sign we've input some hooks in which we can then tie string to with some pegs to peg up all of our Christmas cards. So let's take a look at the project file.
Okay, so this project consists of two files. We've got Merry Male Female, Merry Male Male. So let's open up the Merry Male Female to begin with. Okay, so here is our signs, basic set of vectors here. So if we go and jump straight over to the toolpath, you can see what's going on here. So let's just tile our windows. Okay, so first toolpath we've got here is a pocket toolpath. So we're taking the inner border vector, the one that's highlighted here, and we're basically just going to use a 1/4 inch end mill, and we're going to cut down by 1/4 of an inch. Just a very simple toolpath there, and if we go ahead and preview that toolpath, we can see how that looks. Okay, simple as. Then for the actual text itself, we're going to use the inlay toolpath, which is this one here. So if we go in there, you need to specify that we're doing the female part. Okay, so we're using the female inlay and we're doing the pocket here. Basically, we're just going to pocket down inside of the merry male text. We're going to cut down by 0.15, bearing in mind we're going to start that at 1/4 of an inch because we've already cut down 1/4 of an inch. Tool we're going to use a little bit smaller, we're going to use an 1/8 inch end mill here. We're just going to do that in a raster pattern, and then we could simply go ahead and preview what we've got there. Okay, you can see I've just coloured that toolpath just to differentiate that from our toolpath preview. Okay, so that's our female pocket inlay in there, ready for us to insert the male pocket text that's going to sit inside so that the text can appear to stand out of the sign. Then we do a simple profile cutout using this vector here, just cutting all the way through with a 1/4 inch end mill on the outside. We've added tabs to the toolpath. You can see those marked in yellow in the 2D view. So that's going to hold my part securely to my block of material. And then we could simply go ahead and we could preview that toolpath to see how that would look. Perfect, so that's the female version. So now let's go ahead and look at the male version. So here's the merry male male.crv. We'll open that up and you can see we've got the exact same text. Okay, so we must make sure we are using the same text here. Over to the toolpath, we're going to use this tool here, the inlay toolpath, and we're going to in there specify we're going to use a male inlay. Now for this we're actually using different material, so we're using thinner material in this case, just using basic MDF, and we're going to cut all the way through. And you must make sure that when we are using inlay toolpaths that we use the same tool for both the male and the female parts. Okay, and that's very important that we do that to ensure that we get the same parts to fit together. Okay, added some tabs to the toolpath and then simply go ahead and preview that like so, and this is how our part would look. And so when you come to actually cut this out, you want to cut this part first, and then once you've cut that, you then want to go into your female file, and then you're going to cut that, where you can then, once you've done the actual pocket inlay for the female part, using the male part that you've already cut previously, you can just insert that into the pocket to check for fit. If you find it doesn't fit, then all you need to do here is go into your female pocket and you just want to alter your pocket allowance. So you want to put a negative value so that you're over cutting the part, and just keep tweaking with that value until you find a nice number that fits. So I tend to find that negative 0.01 or 0.05 tends to work, but you'd need to check that for your own material, as all materials differ, so you'd have to test that yourself. So once you've got the correct fit, that's everything that you need. So let's take a look at the actual machining of the part.
So here we have the raw Merry Mail sign, fresh off the machine, detabbed it, giving it a good sand over. You can see we've got Merry and the mail text. We've got the pockets inlay to slot our text into the part. So to finish this off, all we need to do is give it a nice paint over. So the pocket area we're going to paint up white, text in the border we're going to do in red. I'm just going to use basic spray paint to do this, except for the border where I'm going to hand paint that using red acrylic paint. So let's paint her up. Overnight we've let the paint dry, and you can see I've also painted the border red, so we've got a nice contrast. We've got our text as well, so you can see that everything's dry. So all we need to do now is just look at inserting the text into our female pocket inlay. And then after that we're just simply going to attach a few hook screws to the bottom, maybe 3 or 4. And then ultimately we're going to attach some string down each one of those hooks so that we can peg up our Christmas cards. Okay, so here is our finished Merry Mail sign. We've put hooks underneath it, we've attached string to those hooks with pegs on so that I can peg up my Christmas cards. And so if you're wanting to cut your own version of our Merry Mail sign, please head over to the Vectric website where you can download the free project files to cut that yourself. And if you do, please feel free to share that with us on social media using the hashtag VectricFreeChristmas.